great. The attack over there, so that looks pretty nice, you know. So we're gonna do like a little emote here, right?
Yep.
So first of all, we're gonna do a free roaming emote. This.
Oh,
Death whistle.
straight
The
off
death
bat.
whistle is an emote.
Just
The
carry
death
down
whistle
you at all
is
times.
an
Let me do it
emote.
again so we can have a better view of it. There we go.
Amazing.
This is really, really cool. Honestly, it's super scary.
It sounds great too. I love
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so let's look at the rest of this hero's attacks because that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
So as I was mentioning, we kind of have an infinite chain, but it's a little bit different this time, right? Because normally when we have like something like Shaolin, you can do like like light to heavy, light to heavy, light to heavy. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then we went, how do we take this a step further, right? And so what we came up with is every single option that you typically have. So light, heavy, zone, and bash work everywhere. So I can do light, but I can do light into a bash. I can do light into heavy, into a zone, into a bash, into all sorts of crazy things.
Oh
right?
gosh.
So the rules for chaining for this hero
Hey,
is
yo!
every time you do the same button or so the same type of action twice in a row, right? So if you do light, light, heavy, heavy, bash, bash, zone, zone, you go into a finisher. That's where you stop. The finishers typically are like a little bit stronger.
Did he say bash, bash?
Kind of interesting. And you can alternate them constantly. And each option that you have has different options. Like they have different properties and where we can go. So it's kind of like pushing some of the stuff we have a little bit more to the extreme and going into that, right? And so what's also interesting is
Nah,
that,
he looks so
we really
cool,
built
though.
This hero to be every single light attack is using the spear, and every single heavy attack uses the club.
Oh, that's
When we
kind of
zone,
cool.
Sometimes it uses the club. Sometimes, like you see the finisher, uses both at the same time.
Okay.
That's kind of cool there. So I know this this caused not problems, but it's challenging for animation, right? That really have that's different because it's the first time we have a hero that has two really, really distinct weapons,
Right.
like real weapons, not like a shield and whatever.
Right.
We have some characters that have like some hero like Peacekeeper that has like a dagger and a sword, but they're kind of similar and they're not used in the same way. So what kind of challenges you guys face when we're working on this?
If I may, if in a way it kind of focused animation because it was like a very direct way to see like, okay, well, heavy's always going to be the club and light's always going to be the spear. So in a way, it focused a lot of our animation work. We were able to immediately discern and immediately make clear the animations were going to be a light with the spear and all that. So that was good.
Another thing is that with the spear, we aim to have range, okay, with those pokes and things. And then with the club, we went more for the heaviness feeling, the body weight feeling, that power. And then if we talk about the chain, we went and took advantage of that inertia that the character was having, that momentum he was having. And we made a decision like, are we making him a spin or not? So
He doesn't stop.
like that. Like
He
you're showing
doesn't
right
stop.
now.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're spinning, sometimes you're not. It's like
Yes.
to make sure that everything
normally
feels good
with
there,
the
right?
club is when we spin because we have a lot of strength, a lot of energy going on, and then with the spear it's just we go for the range.
All right.
One of the big challenges I find we had for the openers
love 'em.
and finishers was to everything chain together. So we had to really make sure that every blend was like perfect for that.
Yeah, the flow of the character was really important because we only had about 3 frames in order to make transitions between the one attack to the other one in chain. So to put all
Right,
together
exactly.
with the endless possibilities, it was sort of a challenge.
Yeah.
But,
Big challenge
yeah.
there, yeah.
we wanted the player to have that feeling that he's never out of the chain.
That's cool. Yeah, because one of the things that like you're talking about like having 3 frames for chains and stuff like so if I can explain like in more gameplay terms so
Yes, of course.
but it's essentially what we're talking about here is that we tried to make sure when we're designing this hero to have
Can you feint the zone?
almost like a blender like quality, right? We want you to when you're facing an ocelotl
In chain?
you're scared, and to have that sort of pressure and to make sure that you really felt that pressure, we made sure that the chain link timings were as short as possible. So often enough, when if you do a light into a heavy, you see it goes very, very, very fast into the next attack. You can delay them a little bit, of course, right? If you want, but you don't have to. And if you go really, really quick, you get that sense of pressure, of that constant aggression, and really feeling like you're in a blender, right? That's kind of what we're going for. So that's super, super interesting. But it does. That's like you were mentioning. It creates a lot of challenges in terms.
That's
of,
going to be
well,
interesting.
how do we
You
make
can
this
delay.
look
You
good?
can
How do we
delay
make
the
this feel
attacks.
good? So But that's a definite big challenge. Though. So that's really cool.
You can button
I'm
mash
happy
them,
we
and then you
pulled it
can
off.
really
It's
delay them. How long can you delay them? I don't know.
And I also think it's cool, like when you look back and you hear kind of the narrative aspects of it that Ian and Raph talked about a bit, with this this character and the story that was built for him. It really was like you made a very angry boy, right? Like he's very angry, right? And so you feel that a lot in his
There is
attacks,
something
right?
that I always say
Yeah.
is that we have strong words here, strong feelings like fury or rage, whatever, brutal, vengeance. So he has a lot going on.
Hellscream,
inside
thank you
of
for the
him,
prime.
Yeah.
and our job is to translate emotions into motion.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I
What
like
else
that.
does this hero
Tagline.
have? I
We
know there's
had in
more.
our minds in every single attack, Jim and I,
Sure,
like
yeah.
Amelie, of course, she's not here. But yeah, we try to focus on that in order to make him strong. In the anticipation to build that energy,
Yeah.
quick releases, and then during the recovery, like he gets again into balance.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, really cool stuff. Awesome. So
All right, so let's keep going a little bit into the heroes like basic kit, right?
Uh-huh.
So like I was saying, every single light, like the neutral lights are 500 ms, like we normally have. Chain lights are all 400 ms. They
Oh, that's
tag
nasty.
people when you dodge after you do a heavy or a bash or whatever. So again, a lot of pressure there. Light finishers are 400 as well. So if I go light into light, that's 400. I don't think anybody can react to these things. Like we've done some tests with
I
some
cannot.
pro players. Yeah, you can, right.
And you
That's
can
the thing.
delay it. It's
We
like
can,
Nushia.
sure.
Heavies, chain, so the chain heavies are 700 ms, really fast and with really quick chain link timings. Again, to keep up the pressure. Heavy finishers are unblockable in every single stance. Big swings there. I really like put a lot of like effort into like the camera angles and the
Yeah.
Right.
so that's
they are my favorite attacks. That
Yeah.
It's
heavy
one of my
finishers.
favorites as well.
yeah, they look
They
really cool, right?
made it so it was very, very heavy on all
yeah.
fronts.
Yeah, they do feel heavy, even though they're quick. You do
Yeah.
feel that a lot of the heaviness. Well, so it's really good.
Does he have any
Then we
armor?
have zone attacks, which are always armored.
Armored,
The,
yep.
The opener one, like it gains armor a little bit later. But when you go into chains, you get armor at first frame. They're a bit slower, but the idea there is like you're in a group fight, whatever, you typically want to use your zone attacks. So making them armor makes you harder to peel. That goes well. Heavy zone finishers as well. Like they switch sides too, so you're not super predictable. Again, you can use your armor to trade against dodge attacks against certain things, so that's great. And then we have bashes, right? So we also have an opener bash, so from dodge.
There's no
to
bleed.
bash,
It might be his
going to
feet.
This.
Nice.
One of the things that we'll see as we go towards this is that every single bash this hero has deals direct damage.
Okay.
Never has confirmed damage afterwards, although getting a 400 ms fight afterwards is almost guaranteed.
Okay, bash confirmed.
still ways to get
Bash
out
is
of it.
damage.
So the neutral bash,
Doesn't
pretty simple.
confirm any
500
follow-up.
MS bash off a front dodge, so that works quite well. Then we have the chain version that I'm going to go into here, which is
Wait, 10
slower,
damage bash.
deals the right damage, but is feintable, right? We've been doing a lot
Ah.
of bashes, especially on this hero. It's super scary. We've had some players that tested it out a little bit with us, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really scary as well." And last but not least, we have the bash finisher, which is 500 MS, deals quite a bit of damage. You have to make a read because you cannot
Oh.
dodge. After
Look at
this
that.
If I throw a light. So it's a lot again, like a lot of that pressure and that build up there into going to what am I going to do? What's my opponent going to do? What is the OCELOTL going to do against me? And it's super scary. And with those bashes too, like we have like really unique animations here. Like everything's super different. I can go into this one where you do a big pummel strike. The finisher has the kind of crust cut there. So what kind of inspiration you guys take for these types of things?
Oh, at first all the bashes were pummel strikes. I believe the opener was the right side, and then for the in chain we had the pummel strike from the spear. At a certain point, we're like, these are all pummel strikes. So JC had the great idea of making the scissor move, which I found really great. And it's a really vicious move. You kind of feel like Daniel was saying, the rage of the character through that move. Fantastic.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So outside of this, we
That's
have dodge
scary.
attacks. They're all on lights. They don't have massive trajectories. Again, we have to have like sometimes some downsides to the hero, but also like it feels really natural to have quick dodge attacks with this. Front dodge light as well there. So there's a little jump here in a bit of distance. That's pretty cool. Works quite well. But there's one more little thing I think that we haven't done.
Oh yes,
Right?
yes, that's very
Yes.
true.
That's quite different with this hero.
Go
So
ahead.
one of the things that we really want to feel, because we have all of this, right? We have the feat set that we're also going
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
afterwards. But one of the core aspects is the hunting, the stalking, right? And so as we were developing the hero more and more and more, we're like, we're kind of missing that aspect a little bit. So we ended up creating a new kind of stalker stance, prowl
Yes.
stance.
New
You
stance?
access it by holding down on the right stick, and you go into this. Right? So when you are in this stance, there's a couple of things. First
He
of all,
has
you
an
can
offensive
block.
mode.
So it's really not meant to be like something defensive, even though like it's not super visible. But when you go into it, you get you do get a little bit of dodge frame. Kind of like with Nobushi, it's the same timing as Nobushi, so you can dodge attacks with it.
Yeah.
So it works quite well. And then the other thing that's interesting here is that you actually walk faster when you are in this stance than when you're not. So an example, if I'm strafing to the right here, you see the speed I'm going at. But when I'm in that prowl stance, I'm going much faster. Faster front, faster back, faster everything.
Nah, they.
So the idea here is that we really want people to be able to use this stance to kind of like be, there's a group fight happening. I'm hunting my prey. What am I going to do? And you get there. So when you are in this stance, you have one single attack that you can perform with the heavy button, which is this. So when you perform it, you jump forward, leap by quite a bit.
Yeah.
And if your attack connects, or you can use from really far, you get into a bit of a pin. The club gets embedded in the opponent, slice it off. So really, really good. This acts as a heavy, so you can do your heavy chains afterwards. It's a heavy opener, like what we have as heavy openers, and it's super effective. It's not the best tool in 1v1. I can warn people right away.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not meant to be used as a 1v1 tool.
Okay.
But it's excellent at peeling, right? So if you're again far in a group fight, you might be off screen. People don't really see you too much. You get into it, and then you see an opening. Boom, you go, you strike. Works super well. It's not faintable or anything, but it's really so you have to commit to it. But it feels really good.
This happened a lot in tests too, just so people know.
Yeah.
We were like testing it out. You'd be just, playing a Dominion game, then suddenly this just OCELOTL comes flying in from off screen. You're like, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what's also cool here is that this requires a lot of work from animation. So you want to walk us through a little bit, like
Yes.
what goes into making that sort of stance there?
Okay, first of all, the stance, like the character is a little bit low,
Mm-hmm.
we can say that, and he's not static in that stance. So, which means we had to go to mocap and record a whole navigation like that.
Yeah.
The mocap actors did an amazing job,
Oh, yeah.
so shout out. Like they did amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
poor guy's
and
back is,
for yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
back and legs, I would
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
So
He's gonna
That
be,
yeah.
gonna be feeling it for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I remember we shot it on I think on a Monday, and the Tuesday the guys came back in and they like you saw they were hurting. It was obvious. They're very very professionally trained like stuntmen. They're amazing. They're really really good
Has
people.
to
They're doing an
stop,
amazing job.
continue.
But
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
very very like it's
yeah,
hard in the
an amazing job there.
Yeah, was
Sure.
it tough to go and convince the mocap actors like, hey, so we just kind of need you to crouch for the next like
Exactly.
2 hours,
Crouch a little bit more,
just walk
and
everywhere.
can we repeat this,
Yeah, yeah.
please, please?
Do it again.
And then,
Crouch
like,
better.
We
Yeah.
can always modify it like with
Yeah.
our software, but it takes longer. So when we have like really good data, it's everything. We can put everything together like way
Absolutely.
faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for the attack, I would say that the challenge here, as an animator, we always exaggerate poses, and it was the range that he's covering there. So the challenge was to keep it not cartoony, right?
Yeah.
To give the level of, to make it realistic, and as much as it fits the For Honor universe.
Yeah. And so one thing that people that like you haven't been at mocap, it's kind of interesting to kind of talk about. Whenever we actually do mocap, when we do navigation, we call
Yes.
navigation when you're moving around. Like we're asking the actors or stuntmen to really go and they have to walk, run in different like directions, do figure eights, all sorts of stuff, so we can get like
Exactly.
every single movement, how the legs are placed, how that stuff works. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stuff, and but it ends up looking amazing. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're
you-
super hyped. with
Yeah,
this.
you absolutely see it in the final results. The
Yeah.
end product here is like incredible.
sure.
Yeah. All right. So we've looked at this. Let's look at executions right now. Right.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sprint attack. Well, I did a sprint attack before. I'm going to do it again.
Go ahead.
Do it again.
There,
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. I can do it, and then again, it counts as an opener. I can lock in, go back into every finishers if I want.
Not strike.
So
Thank
all
you for the
good stuff
sub, bro.
there, that works really,
No.
really well.
That's the only attack he flips.
Yeah,
Yeah, we tried doing that
Yeah.
move earlier.
Yeah, we were
outside
trying
with
like
the-
before, like,
Man,
2
it was
minutes.
heavy.
I
It's
missed so
rough,
much.
yeah,
You really
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
miss
All the
anything.
actors
That's
did it.
pretty cool. Okay, so
All they did
if
was
you wanna
explain
remove
stuff.
your,
You really didn't miss
health,
anything.
Yes. I don't.
And arena settings, yeah. You go into the first one.
Here.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I can
Back
help.
to arena settings. Sorry.
This.
No,
No?
no, no,
Yep.
no.
You
With
want
the
to do it?
Nolan,
Yeah,
I think
we can take care of it,
quick settings
buddy.
and then you go there.
Ah, there you go.
All right. Okay. So, we're gonna look at executions, right? So I'm gonna go.
Really just demonstrate the blender.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Club,
Oh, he. Oh,
jump to opponent, bam,
I love it.
So good.
get him off. Pretty brutal.
I love
you
it.
know, looks pretty cool.
I love it.
Respawn. Okay, so let's do this.
Okay, do the other one.
We're gonna go through all 4 of them. So,
Oh, you're doing all 4. I love it.
Just never stop pressing buttons. That's the goal. All right, then.
and like this one, I love this one. It's like
Oh.
so right. So clearly, right now we're on stream, so we
Cannot
skip
show
the-
Yeah, yeah. They're not showing the like
It's
the
quite
you
When
know.
you see it in game, it's
Yeah,
gruesome.
It's
it's
something.
quite bloody.
Right, right. They're not showing the bloody stuff.
For the third one,
Okay.
so a bit faster execution, right?
Yep.
Works quite well. And then finally, last but not least, alright, there we go. So that's the 4th execution here.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, he flips him in
Oh,
the
right
air.
on the spear, right?
That's my
that's
personal
So
favorite.
that's what we did at mocap, right? We had one guy like jump like that and fall into the spear and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, for
Not
real.
into the
We just
spirit.
we lost an
Yeah,
actor
we had
that
to
day.
go
It
to the
was really
hospital
sad.
afterwards, but I mean,
But we got the shot.
we got
That's
the
what
shot,
we did.
right? So
We
that's
got
good.
the shot.
All right, okay. So now we've gone through the entire fight kit. So let's prep quickly to go into showing what
The feet's about to be crazy.
That's quite unique.
It's nuts, and that's again, it's incredible. I gotta say, just to go back to the work the team did, and because this was a big team effort to get all this animation work
Yeah.
in. I know you two were like the lead animators on this, but we also had other members of the team working on this. So just big shout outs to everybody who really worked hard on the animations, the audio, the effects for all this. It's
Oh, yeah.
Other
it's
departments,
just
yeah.
so good. Like the work was incredible.
Everyone did their part, and it shows, man.
Yeah,
GD side, animation side, sound, everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
GBP, like at some
Yeah,
point
yeah,
with the
like that-
FEATS, the UI,
So
like
we'll see through the feats when we go through them, right? But the first feat in particular, like it was a massive joint effort from VFX people,
Yes.
code, game design, everything. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a complicated thing to do, but I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah,
It's really,
we're
really
gonna
cool.
see it.
Yeah, and, big shout outs here, like also to the game design team, like
Mhm.
my team, with Noel and
Noel,
Costa.
yep.
They're like 2 amazing game designers. They worked super hard on the hero. Like it's always a team effort, right? We always work all the way together. But they were in charge of the hero, like in making sure everything
Yeah.
there was good. So
And y'all did amazing.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way, so big.
really,
Big Noel,
big.
Costa,
I do a heart,
Just
but I'm holding it
amazing.
forward.
That's fine. I'll do the hearts for you. It's good.
All right. Okay. So we can switch to there. Okay. So this is what's going on, right? So as you see, 4 feats. First 3 are passive. The last one is active. So we'll go for the first one because I think it's the crazier one, right? So
by the way-
Jimmy, if you wouldn't mind killing me, please.
By the way, Chad, if you're not sitting down, now's a good time. Sit down. If you're in a car, buckle up. If you can just find a seatbelt anywhere, just
This better not be crazy, bro. What is this first feat, bro? What is it?
Okay. So
go.
now, oh no, I died. What's happening?
Oh no.
Oops.
Oh,
I
man.
respawn. So this is what the first feat does, right? So whenever you die and you're not executed, or you don't die from like traps or get ledged or whatever,
Yeah.
you get back up in spirit form. You can run around the map, go anywhere you want, and respawn wherever you'd like, as long as you're not too close to enemies or allies, or in ladders. You can run around, you can go up ladders if you'd like. Let me just go here, right? You go up a ladder.
You're faster.
You're also faster, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. You're actually running faster, so there's a bit of animation there. I can go here. Oh, okay. It looks good here. Respawn here. Right?
Capturing.
Backcapping, super crazy, super dangerous. Really, really cool stuff. So the first feat really is about repositioning.
Tier
We'll do it
1.
again, just to make sure that there's a couple of more things to talk about. But essentially,
Oh
it's
no.
around
Oh
the concept
no.
of life and death, especially for these warriors, is whenever you end up perishing and dying, you get back up and you can position yourself. So you can kill me again if you'd like.
I've never been
Wait,
video
wait,
games.
I love-
Just if you want.
If you want, otherwise you don't have to. But yeah, so another thing that's important to see here is that the feat always activates. There is no cooldown to it, so every time you die on the battlefield and you're not executed, like I said again, you can. This always happens. When you get back up, your health is really low, and it slowly goes back up.
Yeah, you can see it
regenerates
regenerating here.
slowly over time. So we really want to do this for balancing purposes, so that we had some tests that we did, and we had versions where you were at full health when you got back up.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Right? Remember
those
started
days.
like at halfway and goes up.
Just right.
You can see it's like it's rather slow right now, and that's really on purpose because we don't want you to be able to just, you die in front of somebody and you get right back up, full health. They're not healed up. You're just
Exactly,
gonna destroy them. They go through the blender, surprise. So that's really cool. The other important thing here is that you see there's like respawn in how many seconds. You have a minute to choose to respawn. If you're too close to enemies against you, you can't respawn here. If the timer expires, you respawn back at your home point. So you really have to kind of respawn wherever you like there. And it's super good, right? So if whenever you get killed or whatever, you can go, you can back cap, you can look at the battlefield, see what's going on. Maybe spawn, you see a group fight, like, okay, I'm going to go help my ally. You go respawn a little bit out of it.
Okay, he does do bleed. Fourth
ally
feat
rather.
looks like
So that's
bleed.
pretty cool, right? There's a lot of
Second
good
and
stuff
third
that-
feet look like Magi
I think
second.
it's also important to
first and
mention
second
there
feet,
that
I
even though
think.
you're seeing JC's perspective here, and you get the cool silhouette as you're running around in that form, your opponents cannot
Can't
see you.
Yeah, right. Like if you wanna, like you can
Yeah.
do it again. Well, actually, I'll
Please kill me.
I told you they can't see you. I told you.
Stream today, guys.
Look,
Fun fact about this feat: we had a lot of realization ideas for the.
And this is what it looks like
3.1,
against
revive
them.
Animations.
this is what it looks like.
They turned
Look,
out to be
they're
way too
gone,
long.
bro. You
So,
don't see them.
it was
They are
very ethereal,
gone. They
actors
are
moving
gone.
around, being revived.
You don't know
but for the
where
sake
they
of
are,
gameplay,
bro.
We had to cut a lot of those animations
See,
out.
so,
Yeah.
So right now, Jimmy's somewhere. I
Yeah,
have no idea
he's somewhere.
where
You don't
he
know.
is.
Somewhere.
He's somewhere. I don't know where he is. Like he might respawn in my face. He might respawn at my home point. He might respawn at my opponent's point. I have no idea. I do not know where he's going to respawn. And then I'm like,
I think it's a yeah. You can hear it. You
oh,
can
no,
hear
he's
it.
there, he's capping.
If you
Yeah,
paid
that's
attention,
kinda
you can
like
actually
a big
hear it
part of
when he
this
comes back, I
this
think.
thing.
Yeah, you can hear it.
It's very, very unique, very different. We've never even
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
mess with this.
Yeah.
I know our programmers were having a field day where we told them, yeah, we're gonna start to look at doing stuff when and moving around when you're dead and see how that goes. They didn't like us, but in the end they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
We worked together, so it was great. Okay, so let's go to the other two feats because we don't have infinite time here. So the second feat is kind of like Aztec Killer Deterrent, right? So that's
I
how
like it. I like it.
that's how I like to put it,
I
right?
think we should change the name. and
Right?
get-
Yeah. So what it does is when you actually kill an ocelotl here, so you see on top of my head, I have a little marker, and I also have a buff and a debuff. The buff is for the third feat, but the debuff is on me. So essentially, when you kill an ocelotl, you get revealed on the map, and you get a defense debuff for I think it's 15 seconds. So it's not
What?
really necessarily like a buff for your opponent that they're going to be able to see you, the one you killed specifically, but it's also to kind of like deter people from focusing on this hero too much. Because if you end up killing an ocelotl in a group fight, you're probably going to die afterwards. Right? You get a significant defense debuff. You got to be scared a little bit.
So
that's kinda
feat
the
2,
here.
if someone
We really
beats
wanna make
you,
sure that, like,
they
again,
get
the feats play with
revealed
life
and a
death,
debuff
and
on
what
them.
happens when
So once you get
kill
your
an
feat
ocelotl
2,
and what happens when you get killed as an ocelotl.
that's what happens.
And so the next one, when I kill any hero right here, I'm gonna do here.
And then feat 3,
So third feat activates. So the third feat is whenever you kill an enemy, execution, whatever, you gain a speed increase
Okay.
and an attack buff.
okay,
So
third
again, it's
feat,
like
speed
really strong. You
increase
get into
and
a group
attack
fight, you
buff
kill somebody,
upon enemy
it's
kill.
easier to kill other people in that group fight.
Nice.
So again, with
Pretty
that
good.
life and death stuff, you manage to kill your prey. You get pumped up. You go, yeah, all right, cool. I'm gonna be able to do more stuff, and you kill more.
Nah, Elmo,
But
you can
again,
defeat him.
short
Just know you got a
cooldowns on those are
15-second
passive.
debuff, and
You
everybody
pretty
can
much
see
trigger
you.
every single time you either die or you kill somebody. So that works really, really well.
Nice.
And then last but not least is feat 4. So for feat 4, we're trying to do something a little bit different here. Vanessa, when we started working on this hero, the legendary Vanessa,
So that. the legend.
really,
It's kind of like a
wanted to
different
go,
version
you
of
know what, we have, like,
Bloodthirsty. I don't
this
know how
big
good the
spear.
third feat is, like
I
how
wanna
big of a
throw
boost it is, but
and
kind of like
bring people back to me.
Bloodlust.
So what do we do here? We throw this spear, get the opponent back to you, and then you get into a guard break. So now,
Oh,
like,
man.
Jimmy's gonna perish, unfortunately, but it's gonna be okay.
Due to the other effect
So
of that.
what happens is when you throw that spear, the
Ain't
cooldown
no
also works
way!
on, like super fast feet, so don't worry about it. The
Yeah.
cooldown, this is not the actual.
It's okay,
cooldown.
chat. It's okay.
Okay, right? So what ends up happening is that you throw the spear, when it connects, it deals a little bit of direct damage, a significant amount of bleed damage, pull an opponent towards you, and then you get into a guard break position, which means you can throw somebody, or you get another free heavy after.
You get
So
a
when I say throw somebody,
GB free.
you can kinda- oh no, there's a ledge
But
here. What's gonna
where
happen?
can you
You're gonna
throw
see-
somebody?
you're
No,
gonna see where
don't
it's
do
gonna
it.
do.
It's gonna.
Oh, the Salt Lords are gonna love this.
Anticipation.
Oh, the Salt Lord's gonna love this.
And then, oops, there's a ledge. Oops.
Oh, it's so
Almost
close.
there, right?
So close.
We missed
works, trust me, it
But
works.
he's already dead.
Not every single time, but it works. So you have to be careful. You have to be really close to the ledges. But that's the type of thing you can expect, right? So you can use it to do a lot of different things. If there's any obstacles between you and the target you're pulling, like once you've hit them, if you pull them towards you, they're gonna get stopped. So you can't just like pull somebody through allies or enemies or whatever. So you still have to be careful when you use it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's a projectile. So again, in group fights, you know, you're external. You throw it, pull your opponent towards you.
Yo, you could literally be like
heavy off of them as
in
well.
and you could
All sorts of
run
good
into
stuff.
like a
It's
team fight and say, "I want you."
It's a very, very good.
Come here.
And was that tough to do for y'all? Like kind of like you forcing them and dragging and like.
Right, well-
was that a little tough?
That feat wasn't an easy feat.
Right, yeah.
So we had a precedent before with other characters to do sort of a grappling thing. So we based ourselves of that for this feat, and we used a similar system with the graps where we had first an animation for the grappling itself, then we needed a loop for the target to reach the opponent. Once that loop was done, we also
Cool down
needed
so fast.
another
Nah, I
animation
think
for
that's
the drawback.
during
After
custom.
that, we branched into the guard break, which was an addition we did by the end of this.
He got it.
Ah, there you go.
Sorry.
That is so crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
So all
That
these
is
systems
so
work together.
More the technical
crazy.
side, I would say.
Yeah, this is a pretty technical side of
Yeah.
it. Animation-wise, it was relatively simple. It was more the technical side that was a challenge.
Yeah, because we have to like sync with VFX as well, have the rope, and all
right.
that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
All that stuff is built through like VFX systems, so it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you can just grab your opponent, get him over here, and then do something you want with
Yeah,
him.
get it
That's
over
good.
here.
Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this hero's movesets and feats.
Oh boy,
So,
that's a lot.
it's a lot.
That's a lot for the
a lot for
OCELOTL.
Lotto.
It's a lot of Lotto.
That's good, guys.
Yeah,
I
and,
love
I
it.
think just
Great
to kinda
hero. I
summarize
love
there,
that.
If I can, sum up my